I'm Marco, and these are the Marco Files. Today I'm going to tell you why it's never too late to lose weight. First though, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and about this channel. About myself, I am 56 years old, I am 6 feet tall, and I am single. I live in Grand Prairie, Alberta, which is about 665 kilometers north of the American border, or that's about 413 miles. I've lived here for over 15 years now, and originally I was from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and I moved here in 2010. On my channel, I'm going to share with you the story of my weight loss journey, my road to retirement, including to but not limited to my finances. I'm going to give you some life lessons or share with you some of my life lessons, and I'm also going to tell you a little bit about the optical business. I have been selling eyewear for over 35 years, and I have a lot of information to share with you. First of all, though, I want to promise to you everything I'm going to tell you is real and not AI generated. Besides maybe the odd thumbnail, I'm not going to be using AI for anything. Also, I need to make it clear I am not a doctor, nor am I a nutritionist. I am just sharing with you my personal experience. Okay? So let's get started. I have been chubby my entire life. I was born chubby, and I was reminded about that constantly by family, some friends, some bullies, co-workers, teachers. I've been called every name in the book, and it has taken a big toll on my self-esteem over the years, but I am working on it, and I have gotten a lot better. But yeah, it definitely does take a toll on your self-esteem. I do have a couple stories that I can even share with you just to give you an example of what it's like to go through for those of you who have not been bullied about your weight. Couple stories. So, in elementary school, kids can be really cruel, and I was called, again, every name in the book, and the old fatty 2x4, couldn't get through the bathroom door, or things like that. I'm sure you've heard that before. But the big one that I remember, which was weird considering it so long ago, was in junior high. There was this girl that I really liked, and I basically poured my heart out to her, and she laughed in my face, and her and her two friends teased me, and continued to tease me all through junior high. Many years later, I worked in a big box store, and so it was a store with a bunch of different departments. I was selling eyeglasses at the time, and one day I pulled a pair of pants from the clothing section, and I brought it back to my department because I was going to buy them at the end of my shift, and I didn't want them to disappear. So I kind of just left them in my department, out in the general area. And then I went to the bathroom, and as I came back from the bathroom, this little troll that worked for me was holding up the pants and showing it to the other coworkers and laughing. So yeah, those kind of things stick with you. I'm above that now, and I'm very proud of myself, how far I've come. And I know, these people, these sour people, karma will come back to them, and I'm sure it has already. One of the things I did realize, though, if you want to lose weight, you have to do it for yourself. You can't do it for your friends. You can't do it for your family. You can't do it for someone you're after. You have to lose weight for yourself. When you come to that realization, that's when you can really get started. So what I do want to tell you is why I think it's never too late. As I said, I'm 56 years old, and I really just started a program about 8 weeks ago. I had enough, I finally had enough. I've tried so many diets. I've tried exercise programs. I couldn't really stick with anything. And the diets, they cause your weight to yo-yo. You go up and you go down, and then you finish the diet, or you stop doing the diet and you go back to normal. You go back up again, and sometimes worse than before. So I started this new program about 8 weeks ago, and I was 260 pounds, which is about 118 kilograms. And in the 2 months or 8 weeks, I'm down about 20 pounds. My goal is to hit 200 pounds, and that I will hit in about 4.5 more months. I hoped 4.5 more months. I hope to be down to 200 pounds. If you want to join me in my journey, would you kindly like and subscribe? I'd really appreciate it. So how am I doing it? Well, as I said, I've tried all sorts of diets with not so great results. I tried exercise off and on over the years. Again, not so great results. My doctor in 2023 got me onto Ozempic, and I gave that a try because I am a type 2 diabetic. So I tried the Ozempic. It did help with my blood sugar, and it did help my weight go down a bit. I was probably in the 250, close to 260 at the time, and I made it down to the 240s. But then it stalled, and I wasn't losing any more weight, and I kept taking the Ozempic every week. I wasn't really crazy about the side effects I was experiencing. Personally, I was getting really bad heartburn on occasion, indigestion, and I was also getting sick. Just not sick all the time. So I would take my shot every Sunday, and every Tuesday morning, like clockwork, I was throwing up. So eventually I spoke to my doctor, and we got myself off of Ozempic, and then I started looking for something else. I've had a few friends who've tried bariatric surgery. That's where you go to a hospital and they cut you open and they make your stomach smaller. The friends that I have who had it done have had very good success with it. I am not so fond of surgery. I have bad luck sometimes, and I think I would be that one guy in 100 or in 1,000 who has an issue with the surgery. So I don't like to go for unnecessary surgery, or something that's not life-saving surgery, I guess you look at it. So I also found out when you have that bariatric surgery, when they make your stomach smaller, you have to change your diet and your lifestyle. One of my vices is Coke Zero. I know it sounds silly. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. Not that I have anything against either of those things. I find alcohol doesn't do much for me, and smoking, I've never had any interest in that. But I do like my Coke Zero. That's one of my treats. And to my knowledge, when you've had bariatric surgery, you're not supposed to have carbonated drinks. Well, I don't think I can go the rest of my life without having carbonated drinks, including Coke Zero. So that's one reason. And then just a couple of other lifestyle changes you have to make once you've had that surgery weren't really appealing to me. So I started to look for something else. One day I came across online, I came across the Illyrian balloon. So what the Illyrian balloon is, it's no magic pill, but it is kind of a pill actually. Basically you swallow a balloon and it goes into your stomach, they inflate it, and that makes your stomach smaller. It lasts about 4 months. They say 16 weeks, I say 4 months, it's both the same thing. It lasts about 4 months, and that 4 months you eat less. So because your stomach fills up faster. That was appealing to me because it's temporary. After the 4 months is up, the balloon usually starts to deteriorate and it goes away and it passes through your system. So I kind of like that idea. It's nothing permanent, and it would help give me that jump start to lose weight. Like I said, I got it done about 8 weeks ago, and I'm down 20 pounds now, and I'm loving it. Now there's more to it. Again, like I said, it's not a magic pill. It's not like you have this procedure done and boom, you're going to start losing weight. There are other things that you need to do. You need to exercise. You need to watch what you eat. And I know some people will say, well, you can do that without the balloon. I like the idea of the balloon. It gives me that extra little push so that I don't eat as much. With the balloon, my portions are smaller. I get fuller faster. So there's not that temptation to just keep eating and eating. So I do find that it helps. And I'm hoping, I'm not going to say hoping, I am confident that I will get down to my 200-pound goal. So if you do want to hear more about the procedure and follow me on my journey, would you kindly like and subscribe to my channel? I'd really, really appreciate it. So if you have any questions for me or anything else to say, please put them in the comments below and I'll answer as many as I'm able to. And last but not least, finally before I go, I do have a request. Let's spread some love out there. Give someone a compliment today. You'll make their day, and they just might pass it along. If we're all a bit kinder to each other, I think this world will be a much better place. Well, thank you for hanging with me today. Thank you for listening to me today, and I hope to see you again in the future. And you all have a great day. Thank you.